Namaskar to you all. I I hope you all are okay. Today we will start periodic table. We have learned about element, molecule and compound in the previous chapter. So I think we know what is element and how many elements are present in our periodic table. What do you mean by periodic table? Today we will learn. Okay. I think in your book you have seen this type of table. This is the periodic table. As you can see in the screen, some blocks are given, some symbols are written, some numbers are written. This is the periodic table and these are elements. These elements are present in our earth and in the universe. As you can see that the last element, this number is written 103. Okay. The last element of the periodic table is 103. Periodic table is the list of elements that occur present in the universe and in the earth. Most of the elements are discovered and few are invented. Invented means human being made the elements by changing their electronic configuration, by adding some electron, proton and neutron, and they made some new element, but those new elements are radioactive, means they are unstable. Today we will learn the periodic table, in which we learn the arrangement of element in the periodic table, how we arrange the element in the periodic table. Then we will learn the change in metallic and non-metallic properties according to periodic table, in which we will learn the group, period, group number, number of shell, the relationship between the outermost electrons and the valency and the group. We will learn transition element, noble gases, alkali metals and halogen. As you can see in the screen. So our today's task is, you should know how the periodic table lists the element of the universe in order to increasing proton number. Actually, Mendeleev had given the periodic table, but that periodic table is not accurate. So many modification has been done in that periodic table, and now we have a modern periodic table. Mendeleev's arrange all the element in the increasing order of nucleon number. Nucleon number is number of proton plus number of neutron. Nucleon number is also known as mass number. But that periodic table is not fit for all the element. When new element discovered, the Mendeleev periodic table is not suitable for explaining all the properties. Then the modern periodic table scientists formed, and in the modern periodic table, all the elements, as you can see the cursor, all the elements of the universe are arranged in the order of increasing proton number. Proton number is known as atomic number. Element in the modern periodic table are arranged in the increasing order of proton number. Okay, and their chemical and physical property. On the basis of their chemical and physical property, we arrange the element into the groups and periods. In this chapter, we will learn different characteristics of metallic and non-metallic element. And we will learn that periodic table is divided into vertical group and horizontal periods. The horizontal lines are called period and vertical lines are called group. We will learn. And we will learn alkali metal, halogens, etc. You have learned bonding in the previous chapter. You have learned metallic bonding, ionic bonding, and covalent bonding. These bonding are also related to the periodic table. So we will take some example of these type of bonding. As you can see, this is the periodic table in which you can see the cursor. This H, the periodic table start from H. H is a hydrogen, then helium and lithium, beryllium, so on. Something is written above the box. These vertical lines are called group, and these horizontal lines are called period. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, these are called periods. Again, you can see before CS 6 is written, and before LA 6 is also written. Same as before FR, this FR 87, 7 is written, and before AC actinium again 7 is written. Means these two horizontal line belong to these two periods. This is 6 period, this is 7 period. These periods are belong to this period. You can see 57-71, and you can see in LA this is 57 and this is 71. Means we kept this 57 to 71 and 89 to 103 element here. Okay. Now in your book we have this periodic table. Okay. In this periodic table you can see periods are written. We have 7 period and 18 blocks are given and 8 groups are written. Group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4, group 5, group 6, group 7 and group 8. Okay. And as you can see, this is the representation of an element. X is an element, A is the atomic number, B is the relative atomic mass. Now come to this box. This is hydrogen. This H, before above the H, 1 is written. 1 is the atomic number of hydrogen, and this 1 is relative mass, relative atomic mass of the hydrogen. So in all the element, these numbers are given. Like you can see, the boron, 5 is written above the B and 11 is written below the B. This 5 is atomic number and this 11 is mass number or relative atomic mass. Okay. So come to the group 1. As you can see, group 1, Li, Na, K, Rb, Cs and Fr. Lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium and francium. Okay, these elements are group 1 element. Beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, radium. Be, Mg, Ca, Sr, Ba, Ra. These are group 2 elements. These group 1 and group 2 elements are called alkali metals and alkali earth metals. Alkali metals, alkali is base, alkaline is also called base. So alkali metal and alkaline metal, they are basic, they have basic nature. Alkali metals and alkali earth metal have basic nature. Means when they react with the air, oxygen, and when they react with the water, they form basic oxide or base. Okay. Now, one question arises in your mind that how we have arranged the element in this group and the period, and why we have kept this, leave this space between Be to B, beryllium to boron, magnesium to aluminium, and we have kept few elements before these group. So when we arrange the element in the increasing order of atomic number, we arrange element not only in the increasing order of atomic number, we arrange according to their chemical and physical properties also. Means the hydrogen kept in the first position, then helium, then the third one lithium, then beryllium, boron we have arranged till argon, then potassium. This sodium is kept below the lithium. This sodium is kept below the lithium. We have not continued after this 10 Ne. We have not kept this Na after Ne. In this right hand side, we kept this Na below the Li, because this Na has similar property to lithium. Lithium and potassium, sorry, lithium and sodium, Li and Na, they have same property, similar property, same chemical property, similar physical property. Same as the next element, magnesium, has similar property with beryllium. Means beryllium and magnesium have similar property, so we kept magnesium below the beryllium. Then aluminium, it shows similar property with boron. Then silicon is similar with carbon, then phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, argon, K potassium, Ca calcium, then Sc scandium. So scandium, the 21 element, and the aluminium, they have different property. That's why the scandium is not kept below the aluminium. Again, the scandium to zinc, scandium 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. These 10 elements have different property than aluminium. Then the next 31 element, gallium, has similar property with the aluminium. Okay, aluminium, boron and gallium, they have same property, similar property. That's why gallium has kept below the aluminium. Same as G is germanium, A is arsenic, selenium, bromine, krypton. Okay. So again, come to the come to the periodic table again. So these group 1 and group 2 element are alkali metal. The last group, as you can see, group 8, 0 is also written. This group 8 or group 0 is noble gas group or inert gas group. This group 7 is halogen group or fluorine family, we can say. Then group 3, group 4, group 5, group 6. We have in our syllabus group 1, group 2, group 7 and group 8. And transition metal, these 21 to 30, this 39 to 48, this 57 to 80. Okay, only. And just the intro part of these element which kept below the periodic table. The first group and group 2 are called alkali metal. Okay, and the rest and this blue metals, the metal which is represented by blue color, are called transition metal. And this purple metal, the metal which is represented by this purple color, which is kept below the periodic table, are called radioactive element or inner transition element, and rest element belong to this third, fourth and fifth group. And this yellow boxes contain non-metals, and the last group is inert gas. But you can see this Brownian box: boron, silicon, germanium, arsenic, Sb, Te, Po, At. These elements are not a metal or non-metal. These are called metalloid or semi-metal. These elements are metalloid or semi-metal. Metalloids shows similar property with the metal and non-metal. They show both the property of metal and non-metal. Generally, they show property like a non-metal, but at a particular temperature, they behave like a metal and they conduct electricity. We are using so many times metal, non-metal, metal, non-metal. So I think we should learn what is metal and non-metal, the main characteristic property and main difference between metals and non-metals. The metals are usually solid. The non-metal, they are solid or gas. The metal are harder and denser. The non-metal, they are softer. Exception diamond. Diamond is a non-metal. It is a form of allotrope of carbon, but diamond is a harder material, hardest material. It is an exception. Metals conduct electricity. They are good conductor of electricity and heat, but non-metal, they are poor conductor or insulator of electricity. But exception, again, the allotrope of carbon, graphite. Graphite conduct electricity. You know what is graphite? Graphite you are using in your pencil. The pencil lead is made up of graphite. Okay. Then the metals, they are malleable and ductile. We know what is malleability. Malleability means change in shape and convert into a thin sheet by hammering. Okay. And ductility. Ductility means we can pull the metal into wires. But from the non-metal, we cannot make a wire or a thin sheet because they are brittle in nature. The non-metal, they are not malleable, not ductile. Okay. Metal have lustrous surface. They are shiny surface when they rub with the some material, or they can be polished. They have some shiny surface, but non-metal, they are not shiny, they are not lustrous. Exception iodine. Iodine has lustrous surface only. Metals are sonorous, means they create a ringing sound, but non-metal, they do not create any ringing sound. Okay. Now come to the again the periodic table. So we have learned that in the periodic table, the elements are arranged in order of increasing proton number or atomic number. The vertical column of the element with similar property are called group. The horizontal rows are called period. And in the periodic table, in the earth and universe, we have metal, non-metal and metalloid, in which we have transition metal, alkali metal, inner transition metal, and in the non-metal we have halogens and inert gas group and the other non-metal elements. Now you have learned the electronic arrangement. Okay. Himanshi, Himanshi, do
Yes,
you
ma'am.
know what is electronic arrangement?
Yes, ma'am. Electronic arrangement is the electronic configuration of an element.
What do you mean? What do you mean by electronic configuration?
Number of electrons in the element.
Okay. Actually, we have learned the atomic structure, in which we have learned that protons and neutrons are present in the nucleus of an atom, and the electrons are revolving around the nucleus in the shell, and electrons are arranged in a particular manner, that is 288 18 18 32. Okay, so this electronic arrangement, the periodic table, are arranged accordingly. Element in the same group have same number of electron. The main similarity between among the element of same group is they have same number of electron in the outermost shell. What do you mean by outermost shell? Outermost shell is called valence shell, and the number of electrons present in the valence shell are called valency or valence electron. Okay, it means the element of same group have same number of electron in the outermost shell, means they have same valence electron and same valency. Okay, Aditya, do you know what is oxidation number or charge? Aditya,
Yes, ma'am.
what is charge or oxidation number?
Ma'am, the number of electrons the any element can give to another electron.
Okay, whenever an element gain or lose electron, it will gain a charge. If the atom loses electron, it will gains positive charge. If an atom gains electron, it will gain negative
Give a
charge.
negative.
है ना? That charge is called oxidation number. So the element of same group have same oxidation number. Okay, sometime few element shows more than one oxidation number, that is called variable oxidation number, that we will discuss later. Okay, now for the main group element, the number of group is the number of electron in the outermost shell. The period also have numbers. The number shows us how many shells of electron in the atom present. Okay, now come to the alkali metal, the group 1 and group 2. Alkali metal are most reactive metal that occur. They are known as alkali metal because they react vigorously with water to produce hydrogen and alkaline solution. Himanshi, can you see the picture?
Yes, ma'am.
It is visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you can read the alkali metal are the most reactive metal that occur. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So alkali metal and alkali earth metal, group 1 and group 2 elements, they are most reactive metals. They are soft metal. They can cut with the knife. And cesium, the cesium can be cut. Cesium is liquid at room temperature. The melting point of cesium is very low, so it can melt at your palm. When you keep the cesium at your palm, it will melt. Okay, now come to the blue box element, the transition element. As we have seen earlier, the transition elements, they have few properties that make them different from the other metals. We are using so many transition elements in our routine life, like iron, zinc, copper, gold, silver, etc. So they are hard and strong. I think we know, we have seen gold, silver, copper, iron, they are hard and strong. They have high density and they have high melting and boiling point also. We are using utensils of iron sometime. We are using ornaments, so they have high melting and boiling point. We know that. Okay. And the one important chemical property of the transition element are many of their compound are colored. We have seen copper sulfate, ferrous sulfate, nickel carbonate, etc. They have some specific color. Okay. Aditya, have you seen ferrous sulfate? Do you know the color of ferrous sulfate?
Ma'am, red brown.
Red or brown? Nah, beta. Ferric chloride
So,
has red brown color. Ferrous sulfate
okay.
has lightest green color. Okay. The
Okay, ma'am.
ferrous sulfate has light green color. Okay. Do you know the color of copper sulfate?
Yes, ma'am, blue.
Blue. Okay. So the copper belong to the transition element. Iron belong to the transition metal group. So they have colored compound that we have seen, we know. Nickel also belong to the transition element group. Nickel has sea green color. Cobalt has purple reddish color. Manganese has light pink color. The compound of manganese has light pink color, etc. You have just told me that ferrous FeCl3 and FeSO4, FeSO4 and FeCl3 both contain Fe, but the color of the compound are different. Okay, so I think you can see in the screen Fe2 plus and Fe3 plus ion. Okay, the second chemical property of the transition element, they often show more than one valency. More than one valency, variable oxidation number. They have variable oxidation number, means they have more than one valency. Iron has two valency, Fe2 plus and Fe3 plus. Fe2 plus is known as ferrous and Fe3 plus is known as ferric. And the ferrous compound has different color, ferric compound has different color, ferrous compound has green color, and ferric compound have red brown color. Not only ferrous, copper also shows two valency, Cu plus and Cu2 plus. Silver, gold, manganese, they show variable oxidation number. And this is the chemical property of transition element, that they have colored compound, they have variable oxidation number, and due to this characteristic, due to this variable oxidation number, they used as a catalyst. This question is mostly asked in your question paper, that write some specific property, chemical property. So they are used as a catalyst, and we know what is catalyst. Catalysts alter the rate of reaction, but they will not participate in the chemical reaction. They are not used up in the chemical reaction, but they alter. They increase the rate of reaction or decrease the rate of reaction. Rate means speed. They increase the speed of reaction or decrease the speed of reaction. Most of the catalysts increase the rate of reaction. Okay. So this is the transition element. Now come to the seventh group, halogens. Halogens are most reactive metal. Samara, this picture is clear to you? This picture is clear to you? Okay. So you can, okay, you can read this. The most reactive non-metals are halogens. The halogen groups are most reactive non-metals. The seventh group is most reactive, and in which we have fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, and astatine. FCl, Br, I, and At. No need to learn this pattern because the periodic table will be given to you in the exam. But you just learn that how many elements present in the halogen, how many elements are halogens. Okay. So the fluorine is most reactive non-metal in the periodic table. And then the second, they are dangerously, fluorine is dangerously reactive. It has pale yellow color. And as you can see in the picture, chlorine gas has this pale green color. Okay, it is smelly, and thus chlorine is poisonous. And chlorine is generally occurred present in the form of sodium chloride in the sea. Then come to the bromine. The bromine has deep red color. Bromine is a liquid. Okay, and at some high temperature it will convert into a vapor. Again, it is smelly and poisonous. Then come to the iodine. Iodine is a solid with the purple vapor. It is again smelly and poisonous. Okay, so you can see that fluorine is a gas, chlorine is a gas, bromine is a liquid, and iodine is a solid. And astatine, no color is given in your book, but astatine has black in color, and astatine is a radioactive element. Radioactive element disappear after day by day by emitting some radiation.